Welcome to the Unlock Wellness Podcast. I'm Dr. Casey and excited for today's guest. I'm here with Dr. Cassie and Mike Major. Dr. Cassie and Dr. Mike own a family wellness practice called Major Family Chiropractic, which is located in Nashville, Tennessee. And I love all of the work they're doing. They're on a mission to truly change the health of Nashville, Tennessee, and they're just extremely dedicated to serving as many families as possible and as many children as possible. So Dr. Cassie and Dr. Mike, thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm excited to have you.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. We love what you're doing. We think it's great. So
Awesome.
It's an honor to be on here.
I appreciate that. But yeah, so why don't we just jump into it and just have both of you guys just talk about your backstories and what led you just along your wellness journey and just your big why to why you're giving back so much and why you're just serving your communities.
Go ahead, honey.
So yeah, I can start. So back in the 2000s, I was in the military and I had a chance to go overseas and serve over there. And, a couple of days before we were headed or slated to come back home, a couple of my buddies and we decided to play a game of basketball. And that game literally changed my life. So I went up for a jump shot, came down and fell right to the ground. And for a couple of seconds, I couldn't move. And I was like, oh my gosh, what did I just do? So I got home eventually, and then went to the doctor and kind of told them what happened. And they said, well, we don't really know what really happened. So they just take these anti-inflammatories. So they started with ibuprofen, and then, kind of like the medical system right now, it's drugs, and then eventually it leads to a surgery. Well, that was me. They told me you could take this, and I took it, and it worked for a little bit, and then it stopped. So they gave me something stronger and stronger and stronger until there was a point where none of the drugs they were giving me was working. So I started to take shots of vodka. I would take a couple muscle relaxers, a couple painkillers, and then some ibuprofen to top it off. And that's how I would wake up every single morning.
Wow.
I've got my family's very faith-based, and my mom she's a massive prayer, and I thank God for her because, if it wasn't for her, I don't know where I'd be. There was a point in my life where it was like, okay, something has to change or else I'm not going to be here much longer. So I went back to the doctors and I said, look, this is what I've been doing and something has to change. And they looked at me and they said, look, we have no idea what's going on. There's nothing on your tests, your x-rays, your MRIs, like nothing showing anything. And the only thing we got for you left is a surgery. If we get in and we start looking around, we might be able to figure out what's going on and we might be able to fix it. And that right there, it scared the crap out of me. Mm-hmm. So I said, is there anything else we can do? And my dad went to a chiropractor a couple of times when I was a kid. So I just asked, I said, is there any way I can try this chiropractic thing? And, they kind of like looked at me like, do you know how people look at you and
right.
It's like, that's a dumb question. But like,
right.
They looked at me like, yeah, sure. Go ahead and try it. Like, we'll see you, in a couple of weeks anyway. So yeah. So I went and that second adjustment, it was amazing. It was this tall, skinny guy. He laid me on the table and he did a side posture adjustment. So he did a rotational adjustment in my low back, and it was excruciating, but amazing at the same time. And from then on, like I had no major issues.
Was the issue, was it in your back or was it like a knee or something? Whenever it came down? It
was my back. So I actually, you're not supposed to, but I have my x-rays from the military. Mm-hmm. And I looked at them when I went to chiropractic school and I realized I've got degeneration in my low back. And the doctors looked at these exact same x-rays and they saw nothing wrong with them. And I'm like, it just blows my mind because there's clearly an issue.
Right. Yeah. It's just crazy because, as chiropractors, we're trained to look for, misalignments and things like degeneration. And, they're just looking for fractures and breaks, but that obviously wasn't your issue.
It definitely wasn't. And their treatment for it was never going to get rid of the problem.
Exactly.
It was a misalignment problem. And that chiropractor, he realigned me and it was amazing. But the thing is, like, the pain kept coming back. Like I would do these little maneuvers and the pain would come back, and it wasn't until my wife actually sat me down and told me, look, this you're using chiropractic like you're using an aspirin. Like, you're laying down, you're getting adjusted, you'll feel good, and then you don't go back until you're in pain again. Well, that's not how it works. Like, we've got to fix the problem. So that's when we really got into the corrective care and really changing spines and getting people healthy and getting people well.
That's awesome. No, it's amazing. And I love when people have stories like that, because it makes it more, whenever you're helping patients, like, you've been there and you know what they're going through, and like the 80 negative things you might have heard from other doctors, but there's still hope.
Absolutely.
So no, I love that for sure. And what about you, Dr. Cassie?
So mine is more of my best friend when I was, we're sharing headphones here, everybody. So we're like going back and forth. So just now we're good. Well, so when I'll start from like the beginning of where my health journey began. I was 13 years old and got diagnosed with a Graves' disease. And for those of you that don't know what that is, it's when your thyroid, which controls your energy and metabolism, it sits right in the front part of your neck. What happens is your body starts to attack it. It's an autoimmune disease. And if you just Google it, and that's exactly what I did when I was little, I Googled it because I was like, what does this even mean? I don't understand. And I remember seeing pictures of people's eyes coming out of their head and like the body basically shutting down, and like where you'd have such great metabolism, everything would be super high, but then your body would burn it out, and then you would become hypothyroid, and then you would gain weight, you'd be tired, you'd be exhausted, and then the treatment for that is usually just medications for the rest of your life. So we're 13 years old, or I'm 13. My mom's with me. We've been driving an hour and a half to this endocrinologist trying to figure out what to do and what's going on. And he doesn't really know what to tell me except for to give me radioactive iodine, which is designed to just burn out your thyroid itself. The solution is because it's not working, let's just get rid of it, so then you don't have to worry about it anymore. And then I was going to be on medications for the rest of my life. And I remember being like, first, how does this even happen? Like, I'm like, Mom, what did I do? Like, what is happening to me? And she's like, I don't know, honey, but we're not going to do this. And so, because she was like, listen, I think you're supposed to have a thyroid for a reason. She's not a medical doctor of any medical profession at all, but she's like, I think you're supposed to have that, and I don't think it's a good idea for us to take it out.
It's awesome that she had that like intuition to be like, yeah, I don't think that's right. Like, I mean, think about how different it could have been if she would have been just like kind of scared into it,
Oh, and I know that happens all the time.
All the time.
Like, if you don't listen to that like gut, and you don't listen to that thought inside of you that I just don't really think that this is right, but I'll just trust the doctors that they know what they're doing, and I'll just like go off and do all of this. So no, I'm so thankful that she did that, because fast forward, we didn't do anything. And that's where it was like, okay, we're not going to do this, but we really didn't know what to do. We just basically, did nothing. They told me to eat right and exercise when I left, because I was just afraid that I was going to gain weight because of the thyroid burning itself out and my energy levels, everything going down. So I'm like 20 years old now. So you fast forward to like 20 years old, and I got up to about 200 pounds. I'm about 5'6". That's how tall I am. So 200 pounds. My body was like exhausted at the end of the day. At the beginning of the day, it didn't matter how many times or how many hours I slept. It didn't matter how much coffee I drank. Like, I tried everything, and it didn't matter. My body was just basically shutting down and doing what they told me. My thyroid was burning out. And my best friend, we've been friends since we were 8, and she was in chiropractic school, but we had a falling out for about 2 years. And it was during this time when we were about 20, and like my health was just crashing. It was awful. And she reached out to me, and because she found out that I was going to be an orthopedic surgeon. And she said, and she's in chiropractic school, so she found this out, and she's like, you can't do that. But we went to lunch one day, and she invited me out of the blue and told me about chiropractic. And she told me that my body could be helped through chiropractic. And at first I was like, I only knew chiropractic, neck pain, back pain, headaches. That's all that I knew. And then she said, no, there's way more than that. And so I went into her brother's office. I got x-rays and saw that my brain wasn't connecting to my thyroid at all. Like the curve in my neck was going the opposite direction. And that's where the nerves come out to the thyroid. And she's like, or her brother said, like, this is the whole reason why your thyroid's shutting down. It's not because there's anything wrong with you or you did anything wrong, but you just don't have that connection. There's an interference in your body and we've got to remove it. So I trusted him and I said, sure, let's try it. Let's do it. So I started getting adjusted. I didn't really know how to eat right. I tried everything. I tried to starve myself. I tried all the diet pills, the caffeine pills, to lose the weight, and none of it worked for a little bit, but it's not sustainable. And so they taught me how to eat right. They taught me how to exercise properly. And now today you can test my thyroid. There's no Graves' disease in there.
That's amazing.
I've lost 60 pounds and I've kept it off for the last 10 years just from getting my body healthy from the inside and not just settling for just drugs like they wanted to give me back in the day. So
that's so awesome. And I don't think I realized that you had lost that much weight. Like, have you ever put like a before after picture up? Because I don't think I've ever seen that.
They exist. There's only about 3 of them.
Man.
Yep. But yeah, they do exist.
That's so great though. I know. I love that. And like, what's cool about that too, Dr. Cassie, it's like, even, I mean, you had tried some different things with your diet, but like with that reverse curve in your neck, I mean, you could be putting the best stuff in, but if your thyroid's not getting the nerve supply, then it doesn't matter.
It'll never matter. Yep.
Right. So, so you had that reverse curve and then you were able to bring it back pretty far,
yes.
right? All the way or?
Yeah. I'm at 30 degrees right now. So I can tell you I can be a little bit better at doing my exercises at home, like to keep my muscles nice and strong and ligaments. But I've come a long ways from a -10 to a +30. So over 40 degrees of correction in my neck. Mm-hmm.
That's so cool. Yeah. And if you're listening and you're wondering like how that's possible, it's just through spinal corrective care. I mean, you really can get changes in a spine and your neck curve should have a curve that is 40 to 45 degrees. And, she was at -10. So if you have that reverse curve, you're literally crushing the nerves that are going to places like your thyroid. I mean, affecting your immune system. And I mean, Dr. Cassie, I'm sure you were having other issues as well, like headaches or like, I mean, whenever you have that kind of nerve interference, I mean, there's so much that can be happening.
And the one thing that I see a lot of times though, like with our patients now is like when you have a reverse curve, it's more like a lot of people even don't even have pain. Like they don't really even feel it happening or coming on. And they have more of like organ malfunction somewhere in the body. And that's like the scary part. And that's why if somebody would have told me when I was 13, when that could have been starting to develop, I could have avoided a lot of that happening. Or if my mom knew to get me checked when I was a child to make sure that that wasn't developing over time, because I based my health a lot of times on how I felt and how I looked because I played sports. I was active. I did all the things right, but my thyroid wasn't doing what it was supposed to be doing. And we couldn't figure it out. And for my only option to be they could have done surgery. They could have taken it out, but like to give me that radioactive iodine and drugs, like that was my only option. It was almost like there was like, this doesn't make any sense.
Right. I mean, obviously we're not given like spare parts, like spare body parts. Like right. It doesn't make any sense. But, it's cool because I'm sure that, both you guys, Dr. Cassie and Dr. Mike, that you both see so many kids coming in now with reverse curves that wasn't there before. Like I've seen like hardcore like kid with a reverse cervical curve when that used to be like way further down the road. I mean, it's just a combination of things like obviously texting, you're looking down all the time, you're looking at computer screens, all weird. But I mean, do you guys want to touch on like different things you're seeing with that?
I mean, some of the worst spines that we've seen recently have been kids. And it's all because of the fact that they're either on their phones or their tablets or in front of a TV screen playing video games. Like all of these things, these repetitive motions over and over again are more damaging than even just a big accident.
Yeah, and then they're going out and being active, and you're being active on an unstable spine, and then you're seeing more symptoms like allergies and asthma and ADHD and all of these symptoms.
Yeah,
and are you guys seeing a lot of that as well?
Absolutely. I would say 90% of the kids that come in here, the parents have said that a teacher has told them you might want to get your child checked, or you might want to get your child put on this medication because they're having a hard time in class, paying attention, sitting still. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, that's a normal kid, right?
Right.
Like when I was a kid, I was always moving. I remember I got detention because I was singing to myself one time. And I, if I was a child now in school, I would probably be on some kind of medication, but there was nothing wrong with me.
Yeah.
A normal kid, getting out my energy. And I mean, we didn't eat amazing as kids, but food plays a big part of that as well.
Yeah. I mean, obviously if you're sitting all day, obviously you're not meant to sit all day like that as a kid, or I mean, even as an adult, and then you're having sugary snacks in between classes. It all adds up. I mean, like Dr. Cass, you were talking about my daughter before we started recording. I mean, she's 19 months old and she runs in circles all day. Like that doesn't deserve a medication. Like she's a kid.
No, that's amazing.
Yeah. Like I'm happy you keep running in circles because she sleeps 12 hours at night and I'm cool with that.
Yes. So good.
Yeah. But yeah, so I know you guys, you said that you're taking a little break from it right now. I'm sure you'll jump back into it soon, but I know you guys do a lot with like different challenges, and I love what your office does with the challenge ninjas. I think it's awesome because it's like, I think it just, the way it makes people consistent, because it really just gives you that like mindset necessary for a lasting change. Mm-hmm. And I love that you guys do it too, because you're being congruent with what you're teaching your patients. But do you guys want to like talk about what you've been doing with that and like the changes you've seen with your patients in all aspects? I mean, whether it's mindset or just, their health and consistency and just all of it with that.
Yeah. It's funny. I'll tell you like how it even started. It's us two. And then there's also Dr. Kaylee Judge. And we came up with Challenge Ninjas because we were all going on a trip, a 4th of July trip in California. And we were like, hey, let's do something leading up to this trip. And let's make it kind of fun and let's involve everybody else with us. And so we decided that we were going to do 100 burpees every day for 30 days because it was like we decided about 30 days before that we would do a 30-day challenge. And I mean, honestly, it came from like let's get our bodies in shape because we're going to be on a beach.
Right.
And to have some people with us so that we could do it together and be pushed together and just coming together that way. So we started that, and then Dr. Michael and I, we were like, hey, what would be cool is if every single day we went somewhere. We had just moved to Nashville to open up our practice, and we hadn't really seen anything, but we knew how great the city was. So we're like, let's go somewhere every single day different and do 100 burpees. And so it was really cool. Like we went around the city and did 100 burpees, and
awesome.
It was awesome. And the biggest thing that I've seen with patients is, one of the funniest stories is we have a patient named Sheila, and we were telling her about the plank challenge that we were doing for 30 days. And so every day for 30 days, we added a minute to a plank. And so one day or 30 days, you'd end at 30 days. Well, she came in one day and I said, hey, have you done your plank challenge yet? And she said, yes, I stopped in the hallway before I came into the office so that I could get my plank in because I knew you were going to ask me if I had done my planks. And so it's really cool when you have like a community together and you have that accountability. And even though you're like, if you didn't do it, we always encourage people like, it's okay, do it next time. Like you're just continuing to like get better. Or what's even cooler is that when you're like, hey, at the end of 30 days, you're going to be doing a 30-minute plank. And when you tell them at the beginning, their eyeballs like are about to pop out of their head and they're like, there's no way. It's absolutely impossible. And I said, you just watch, you just see how strong your body truly is. If you stay consistent with this, you'll be like, holy cow, they were right. Like it really does do that. And it's really kept us accountable too.
And I think that's, we really did start it for like a selfish reason.
Yeah.
But the thing is like, it's really held us accountable. Like when you say, okay, everybody, we're going to do this. It's like, oh shoot, now I have to do that too.
Because they're waiting for your post too. Like,
exactly,
where's Dr. Michael and Dr. Cassie? Like, where are they at?
Always asking, like when they're in the office, they're like, so where'd you go today, or what'd you do today, or how was it today? And it's like, if I didn't do it, I'm like, you know what I mean? Like that blank stare. And then when you do it, they're like, oh, sweet. So then they know kind of what to look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
So that it's amazing what kind of community it starts in the office.
Yeah. No, I think it's great.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, no, I think, I mean, just, yeah, like you're saying, just the community that it creates, and it makes people excited to kind of just be involved with what you're doing, because, I mean, obviously you're leading them with their health, so they trust you and they want to do what you guys are doing. So, no, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, and like, we don't always love to do it either.
Oh, no.
Like, I think that's the one thing. I think that when like people see us, they're like, oh, they must really love to work out and really love to like.
They love those burpees.
They love 100 burpees every day. And I'm like, absolutely, absolutely not. Like, so it's just really cool to have that. And then when we aren't doing, like if we didn't do them for the day or something like that, we're very honest. So then that way they know we're real people and that we're not machines that are just going through and doing it, but that we keep ourselves accountable. And like, if you miss a day, then you add it on to the next one. So like, we always make sure that we do that too. So
that's awesome. No, you guys got to get it back up and running again. And I'll go on the record saying, whichever one you do, I'll do it with you guys.
I love it.
Yeah, I'll do it with you, even though I'll cry. I won't be mad if it's not burpees, but just you guys surprise me.
Love it.
That's awesome. So what are you guys working on at the office right now? Do you guys have any workshops coming up at all?
We have our recipe night is coming up, which is really cool. We didn't do it. We did it once when we very first opened, and it just wasn't that super awesome. Mm-hmm. So we haven't done it, and then now we decided to bring it back because so many people we have so many new families in our office, which is so fun and exciting, like kids running around everywhere. We have about like 7 or 8 pregnant moms right now in our office. So and new moms like starting their families out. So we decided to do recipe night. So then that way, you crave some foods that
may not be the best.
Like you want pizza, you want fried chicken, whatever it might be. And especially being in the South, people want their collard greens, they want their mac and cheese, they want all of those things.
Especially if they're pregnant too.
Especially if they're pregnant. And so we are excited for that one because then it's like we can show them how they can still have those things, but keep them healthy, keep them good, and then not just decreasing the health in their body or creating inflammation where they don't want to, or feeling guilty afterwards because they know they shouldn't have ate it and they did, and they feel crappy afterwards. So it's like, we want to show them how to do that. So we're really excited about that. That's coming up on Monday.
It's kind of like the Challenge Ninja thing, how like, we're taking people through what we do kind of on a daily basis. And people are always asking us like, so what do you guys even eat? Or how do you and this is like an awesome opportunity for us to say, look, this is how we make our food, and we're actually going to make some of it so that you can try it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
and
cool.
People always love to eat, so
and then they can try the different recipes and see what they like, and then go home and try it. And I think it's awesome.
Yeah, that's good.
Cool. That's cool. So, all right, guys. So, what is the best way for people to follow you guys on social media and your website? And then whenever you get the challenges back up, what's the best way for them to find all of those?
I love it. We are going to start doing videos too on Facebook. So if you just go to Major Family Chiropractic on Facebook, we'll be doing a lot more videos, like short videos. Right now we're talking to our patients about the safety pin cycle in chiropractic. So we're going to do some short videos on what those things mean. And our website is majorfamilychiropractic.com. And then we do Challenge Ninjas on Facebook. So if you just go to Challenge Ninjas on Facebook, all the past ones are on there too. So you can, if we're not doing one or taking a break from it, then you can always go to a past one and share that. One of the cool things too is like people will post like on theirs and then get other people doing it too with them, like the challenge, and like inviting other people, which has really been an awesome thing to see, and like being like tagging us on Challenge Ninjas that we don't even know them. And it's just so cool how that's all kind of created that community again. And
that's awesome. Yeah, that's cool. And what about, did you guys say Instagram or basically
we have Major Family Chiro. We're not that great with Instagram.
I got you.
Yeah, but we have Facebook's probably our best place where we post things and all of that. So Facebook's the best.
Cool. And then just closing question for you guys. You guys can have 2 separate answers or a collaborative one either way. But but if you just had one piece of advice for the audience, maybe it's something that's helped you guys personally along your wellness journey. But if you just had one piece of advice to give, what would it be?
Have an amazing wife.
Did you really just say that?
Oh, Dr. Mike, we sucking up today.
Points, I know.
If you
didn't even
can
do anything
that,
wrong.
Yeah, that'll change everything. But realistically, like an accountability partner, somebody who's going to be honest with you and say, look, this is where you're kind of messing up, and this is where you're doing awesome. And this is, some things that we can work on together as far as creating not just a better relationship, but a better family, a better health. Like, she is absolutely amazing. If it wasn't for her, who knows where we'd be right now. She's led the way. She's always, looking to get better. And that causes me to want to, do the exact same. So
absolutely.
If you can get an accountability partner who's going to be honest with you and upfront, it'll change your life.
That's awesome. No, I love that. Do you, what about you, Dr. Cassie?
I feel like I should have.
Do you just want to agree that you're awesome and just end it there?
Thank you. No, but I would like the best thing that I've really ever done is just be yourself. Like, don't try to be anybody else but who you are and who God created you to be, and be okay with that, and know that your health and your life, it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. And that gratification of just wanting it right now in the moment, it's not real and it's not lasting. So anything that comes that quickly and that fast and that gratifying is probably not the greatest thing for you. So I've learned that being okay with myself and who I am, and knowing that it's a process, and accepting that, and being okay with the fact that there's a process, and that we're not going to be perfect, and that when you do fail, you just get right back on up and continue to run your race.
No, that's awesome. No, I love both of those. You guys are great, and I really appreciate you guys taking time to come on. It was fun, and I'm excited for the next challenge. You guys just let me know when.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's awesome. Thanks for having us, Casey.
Absolutely.
We listened to a couple of your podcasts before today, and I just think it's one of the greatest things
thank you so much.
that you're doing, and there's so much information for people to be healthy and to be well, and to truly like unlock wellness in their life, that it does exist. And I think it's super great. So keep it up, girl.
Keep it up, girl.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it, guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for tuning into today's episode. I hope you loved my conversation with Dr. Cassie and Dr. Michael. I love everything that they're doing, and extremely excited for their new videos that they're going to be putting up on their Facebook. So make sure that you're following them on social media. I'm going to be including all of those links in the show notes, but you can also find all of those links if you go to my website at drkaseyjohnson.com. That's DRKASEY Johnson.com. And when you're on my site, you'll just click on the Listen tab at the top of the page. And from there, you'll be able to see all of the past guests that have come on the Unlock Wellness podcast, a little bit more information about each guest, and then all of their social media links. So you'll be able to find Dr. Cassie and Dr. Michael's information, all of their links, so you can just go and click and follow them. So all of their information is right there as well. But if you enjoyed today's episode with Dr. Cassie and Dr. Michael, jump onto iTunes, subscribe, and write a review. I really appreciate all of the feedback and support. So just guys, thank you so much for tuning in.